Hello everyone, Miss D here. Today we're going to learn how to create reoccurring tasks, how to apply task constraints, look at the critical path, set priorities for our entire project, and you can set priorities for your particular task if you like. We're going to view allocations, we're going to level a resource. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we're going to open up project. You can open any project you want. I'm using data file 4-6, and we are going to make a reoccurring task. So click in a task, then go to your task tab, your insert group, and click the drop down arrow task, and then click on the command reoccurring tasks. For this particular task, we're going to name it staff meeting. And this staff meeting duration is 1 hour. It's every week, so make sure that is checked, and it's on a Monday. It will end after, let's say, 15 weeks. So it'll go for 15 weeks, and I'm going to click the start date. Start date, we're going to say is the 17th, because I know in this project the 17th is a holiday. So I'm going to click OK, and we're going to get a message back saying, okay, the 17th is a holiday. Do you want us to reschedule that, or do you want us to go ahead and just ignore? So I want project to ignore that particular date, which is the 17th, which is a holiday, and just schedule the rest of the staff meeting. So you see staff meeting is scheduled, and this symbol means reoccurring meeting. So if I click on the plus, you see all of the meetings are are scheduled in our project. So now what I want to do is I want to add resources to this staff meeting. So I'm going to click on the resource tab. I'm clicking in the assignments group, and I'm clicking on the command assign resources, and I'm just going to select the first and second person by holding down my control button on my computer, and I'm going to click assign. Okay, and I'm going to close this dialog box, and I'm going to open, and you can see that these meetings have 2 people in it. Okay, so I'm going to close this back up, and I'm going to right click on my mouse, and now I'm going to scroll to tasks because I want you to see it in the Gantt chart. You can see that's the staff meetings. You can see that here it is. You can see that they are all assigned. Okay, all right. Next, we're going to apply constraints to a particular task. So I'm going to select the task and double click it to get the dialog box to open up. It's the task information dialog box. I'm going to go to the advanced tab, and I'm going to say that this particular task should not start before 5/11/11. Okay, so it can't start before 5/11. Start no earlier. So start no earlier than. Drop down, start no earlier than, and constraint types. Okay, constraint date 5/11/11. And so I'm typing that in. I want to make sure that this task starts no earlier than 5/11/11. All right. So sometimes we have a project and tasks cannot start before a certain date. So that's why we want to put constraints on a specific task. Now we're going to look at our critical path. So to find our critical path, we're going to go to the Format tab, and we're going to go to the Bars and Styles group and click on Critical Tasks. So if you scroll over to the Gantt chart, you will see that you have these red bars. These red bars indicate your critical path. So if any of these work packages, because that's what they are, work packages, if any of these work packages do not start and finish on time, your project will be delayed. So keep that in mind. I'm going to take off this critical task. but I wanted you to make sure that you knew how to do this. Now we're going to set a priority for this particular project because I'm working on 3 projects at one time. So I'm going to the File menu, and I'm going over to the right where it says Project Information. I'm going down here where it says Priorities, and the priority starts from 0 to 1,000. I'm going to make this priority 980 because I want this particular project to have the highest, no, it's not the highest priority because the highest priority is 1,000, but next to the highest priority. So 980 is the priority because I need to make sure that this project is critical, and I need to make sure this project actually ends on time and we do not go over budget. Now I want to, I showed you how to set priorities for the project. I need to show you how to set priorities for a specific task. So if I double click on the task information dialog box will appear. Click on General, okay, and if I want to set a priority for this particular task, I just scroll up to whatever number I want, and Project will give more attention to this particular task and allocating resources, okay. So right now we want to, I'm going to undo that. Okay. Right now we're going to view the allocations. So I'm going to click in a task. I'm going to go to View, Tab. I'm going to click on Details. Once I click on Details, the task form will appear. You can see for this particular task all of the resources that are allocated to this particular task. Okay, I'm going to go to my resource sheet by clicking on the view buttons to my right next to my zoom slider, and you can see that I have some particular resources that are over allocated. When you see their names in red, you know that they're over allocated. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to find out a resource graph, because I need to find out how these resources, where are they over allocated. So I'm looking at the graph and I'm just clicking on this arrow to my left. Now I know that this project starts 2011 and I'm on 2013, so I'm just trying to get to 2011. So I'm scrolling, but let me do it a little faster. So the blue bar says they're allocated, and it tells me 100%. This is at 200, 200, 200, and 200, and the red is telling me that this person is over allocated. So when you have a person that is, or a resource that is over allocated, what you want to do is you want project to allocate them properly. So what you want to do is go to resource, go to your leveling group, click on leveling options. You want to make sure this is checked, level only within available slack. So you don't want project to make this particular project any longer. If there is slack within the project, you want this resource to be allocated within the slack that you have already. So you click level all, and the little box will come up and says project cannot resolve the over allocation of this particular person for 4/22/11. To continue leveling other allocated resources, click skip. To continue leveling and skip over allocations that cannot be resolved, click skip all. So I'm going to click skip all. Okay, so project was not able to resolve all the issues with our resources. So what I'm going to do now is click back into leveling options, and I'm going to turn off level within available slack. I'm just going to say level all, and I'm going to say skip all, and you see project was able to allocate this particular person. So this particular person is not over allocated. Now you can tell by his name is not in red any longer, but these other two resources are still over allocated. So if I scroll over, you see that this particular person is at 700%. So if project is not able to reschedule this particular person, um, and make sure that she's not over allocated, he or she is not, they're not over allocated, he or she is not over allocated, excuse me, then what you need to do is put more resources for that task. Okay, for that particular task. Same thing with this particular person. This person is over allocated, and here we see that they're working at 118%. All right, so I hope this helped, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you, and have a great day.